Hello. I'm sorry I cannot hear you, and I'm not sure if you can hear me either. Can you hear me? Can you maybe send a message to let me know if you can?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so sorry for just joining. To our audience, good evening, everyone. And I all believe you all can hear me. Please confirm in the comment section if you can hear me. Uh, I'm still waiting for one or two response to know if you're on the same page. Please, if you've joined, please comment. Let's know you are with us. And please let's inform our members that are not here that we've started and we are not waiting for anybody. Time waits for nobody. So welcome everybody. Welcome. All right, so while we wait for our members to join us, good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time zone where you are hearing me from and where you are seeing me from. So, my name is Eniola Fadiji, and I'll be your moderator for today. And today we have a special webinar. Yes, it's one of its kind. It's not just for, how will I put it? It's not for just for the masses, but it's for impact. Yes, because fish lead or one of the things we look out for is impact, not just number, but we look out for the impact that is being made in the society and also in the fisheries and aquaculture industry at large. Yes. So once again, I remain your moderator, Fadiji, and with me we have our team lead of Fish Lead Hub Initiative. Yes, we have in the person of Mr. Okeojo Pelumi. We celebrate you, sir. Thank you for creating this with us. It's a rare privilege to be on the same space with you once again, and I don't take that privilege for granted. So, please, I'll give the floor to Mr. Pelumi. So, to remind us why we are here and what Fish Lead Up entails for our new members that's just joining us in this kind of meeting for the first time. I'm sorry. Mr. Pelumi, we can't hear you. All right, Mr. Pelumi, I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Please, if you are here with us, kindly confirm if you can hear Mr. Pelumi's voice. But right from my end, yeah, I can't hear him. I'm so sorry. I think I'll have to log out and rejoin back. I don't know what's wrong with my network.
All right, please, can you hear me now? Can you just confirm the can anybody hear me? Okay, all right, thank you. Thanks so much. All right. Uh, can you hear me, Miss Fadiji?
Yes, I can hear you clearly, sir.
All right. I'm very sorry. I think I had an issue with my settings. So
Okay.
good evening, everyone, and I want to appreciate us for joining. So just like we all know, Fish Lead Up is a youth-focused initiative and meant to encourage young people in this path. I mean, fisheries and aquaculture, to actually see what is possible in the field. You know, there's a story out there that when you find yourself in fisheries and aquaculture, people just felt, oh, you have nothing to do with yourself. I remember when I gained admission, a brother and uncle, was encouraging me that, oh, when you get to 200 level, try and change your department. So the story has been the same, that people in this field, they feel less of themselves and they're not really seeing the future for themselves here. And as young people, I believe we are the one who have the energy, and the innovation to bring to the industry, and that's why the challenge goes on that many of our graduates, when they, graduate of fisheries and aquaculture, after leaving the university, they find themselves, they divert in the career that is quite different from fisheries and aquaculture. And that is affecting the industry. Majority of people who are in the field, both in the industry, even in the academia, are aging. So I believe it is young people that can take up, you know, what is coming, and then make aquaculture and fisheries to fulfill its potential in addressing global hunger and food insecurity. So, and that's what brought about this initiative, to encourage undergraduates and even graduates to see what is possible, and bring about passion and interest in them. And that's why tonight I would not like to speak so much on that. We've had several meetings, where we have discussed what's brought about Fish Lead Up. So tonight we are very privileged to have with us one of amazing person, same in this field. He graduated in fisheries and aquaculture department. So and tonight is majorly focused on the graduates. This time there are many applications coming in for scholarships for those who are interested in the academic routes, to further their academics, to see how to go about applications, how to maximize, the applications. We've seen, I was discussing with some young people not quite long. There is an opening, and I was telling them how they must maximize it because opportunity will not always stay there. So when you come by one, you need to maximize. So we are happy to have with us tonight. Maybe I will hand over to our moderator to invite our facilitator this evening, and she's already here with us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So, before I introduce our facilitator, I have a tip for everybody. Please get a pen, get a jotter. I have mine already. And if you have an iPad to write with, please do that. Please, you don't want to miss any points. You don't want to miss every details. All details here is necessary. As I've said before, we don't just deal with numbers here in Fish Lead Up, but we deal with the impact being made. And tonight with us, we have our facilitator. We have the person of Miss Divine Hand Drawing, a scholar, Erasmus scholar studying aquaculture, the environment, and the society. Yes. Good evening, Miss Divine, or good day from anywhere you are watching us from. Can you hear me? Please, Miss Divine, confirm you can hear me.
Good evening. I can
All
hear
right.
you, and I hope you can hear me as well.
I can hear you. I can hear you clearly. So good evening. It's so good to have you on board. And right now you have the floor. So yes, ma'am. Let's have you.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. It's so nice to be in your midst today, and I'm really happy. I'm excited, and I'm so honored to be here to share my story, my journey with you all, to share the tips and the tricks that got me my scholarship. And I would be sharing my screen because I have a few slides prepared. Oh, interesting. Okay. Um, I guess it's going to be controlled from your hand because I do not have the control here. But that's okay. So, hello everyone again. Just to give a little bit of introduction. My name is Divine Anjorin, as the moderator mentioned, and I am a student. I am studying aquaculture, the environment, and society, and it is a fully funded program by the European government. So my program, just like every other Erasmus Mundus program, it allows students to study across Europe. And for my program, we have three main study destinations. So it started in Scotland, then to Greece, and then I'm currently in France for my second year. And you also get an extra 2 places to visit for studies. So one for your internship and also one for your master's thesis. So depending on of your choice, anywhere you want. And it could also be outside Europe too. So I actually had my bachelor's in zoology, not in aquaculture, and I am here to. I'm also going to share the story about how I transitioned from zoology to aquaculture. So I have about 40 minutes to give this presentation, and it's on the topic maximizing your chances for scholarships and graduate opportunities. It's just me basically telling you things that you need to do to increase your chances for getting scholarships after school. And of course, I do know you have expectations, and I hope that the things I have prepared here would meet your expectations. So for this presentation, I would can you maybe move to the next slide? Oh, thank you. So for this presentation, I would use this outline. I have divided this lecture into three main aspects. So I would touch on mindset first, because I think it's really important that you have a positive mindset towards scholarship applications, because it can be a very daunting process. And it is really important that you believe in yourself as well, because the truth is you are who you think you are. You are whatever it is you think you are. So before you can get somebody to believe in you, to believe in your goals, then it is really important that you believe in it first. And then for the second part, I'll be talking about strategy. And in this section, I would share my story and the things I did that helped me or that prepared me for a career in aquaculture. And for the last part, I would also talk about execution. And here, this is just when you are ready to apply, what do you do? What are you supposed to do? And then in the end, I will be sharing some helpful links. I call them helpful links because they were just links to YouTube videos that helped me when I was also planning to prepare my scholarship, because everything I know now, I learned it all from scratch, from just watching YouTube videos. So I'm really happy to share them with you. So I'm just going to jump right into the presentation. So yeah, mindset. Just like I said earlier, it is very important that we address this aspect of scholarship application, because your thoughts precedes your actions. So before you do anything at all, you must have thought about it beforehand. For you all to be in this webinar this evening, that means you already have at some point heard about scholarship applications, or I mean, it could be maybe just hearing it in passing, and some people might have actually even taken time to research about it. But whichever or whatever the case might be, there is it remains a fact that there are other things you could be doing at this time. There are I mean, you could be watching movies, reading a book, but you all left those things and you joined this webinar. And I think that already is a positive mindset towards scholarship application, and kudos to all of you for joining again. So for this section, I'll just be discussing some very common misconceptions about scholarships that people have, and I will try to address them. And I hope that by the end, you all would be more positive and be more, interested in applying to scholarships. So the first misconception I would like to address here is that scholarship is meant for first-class students alone. I mean, a lot of people believe that you have to be a first-class graduate to be able to apply for scholarship. Well, I'm here to tell you tonight that that is not true. And not to say that, I mean, of course, there are scholarships that they are much more academically oriented, if I would say. So they kind of prioritize academic performance over skills or many other requirements. But the truth is that scholarship is just one out of the myriad, out of the many different kinds of scholarship available. So you just need to do the work. You need to find the scholarship. You need to learn about the other scholarships available. And yeah, so it is really important to know that there are scholarships that are based off of your talent. They want to see that this person is really talented, or they want to see that this person really shows financial needs. I mean, towards the end of this presentation, I would really give time to explain the different kinds of scholarship. But for now, it's just to make you have this mindset shift towards the myth of scholarship is for first class students, and because that is really not true. And then when this academically oriented scholarship, and when they talk about academic performance, most times they do not necessarily mean that you should have a first class. It just means you should have a good academic performance, right? And a good academic performance is not just what it says on your degree. You would apply to graduate schools or for a scholarship using your transcript as well, and they really want to see that your transcript is showing an upward trend. So as long as there is like an improvement over time on your transcript, that is already a good academic performance. And when you have results like that, you can apply for a scholarship. The mistake lots of people make is not even applying at all, because they feel like, oh, they're not going to get it anyway, they do not have a first class, it's only for the smart kids. So that is not true. And then the second misconception is that next slide please. um so yeah, so the second misconception is that only few scholarships are available. Yeah, so many people believe that only few scholarships are available. And linking it to my first point, they would already assume that, I mean, the few scholarships available is just for first class students. Only few scholarships are available, and then the few ones are for the smart kids. And that is why I have, found I had to go online, go to the different websites for these scholarships to extract the data of people that are actually being awarded these scholarships every year. And so the first one we have is the Fulbright Scholarship, awarded by the United States government. And we can see here that 4,000 students get awarded this scholarship annually. And the second one, we have the Commonwealth Scholarship, where 700 students, maybe on average, gets this scholarship every year. And then we have the Clarendon Scholarship, awarded by the University of Oxford. In 2022, 200 students got that scholarship. How about Turkey? Turkey Scholarship, offered by the government of Turkey. 5,000 students get that scholarship yearly. And we have the Erasmus Mundus. 7.1 million students got that scholarship just from the period of 1987 to 2013. And between 2014 and 2023 alone, million 8.5 million students. That's not a small number at all globally. And then we have the Gates Scholarship, we have MEX Scholarship from Japan, we have the Student Stiftung Scholarship also. It's a German scholarship, and we can see the numbers of students, of people being awarded a scholarship every year. So if more than 10 million students globally are getting scholarships every year, then why would you think that it cannot be you? Like, why would anybody think that, yeah, it's for a different set of people, I do not deserve it, this set of people deserve it better than I do? I mean, that is a very wrong attitude towards scholarship application. So I really hope that from this moment onward, you all start to shift from the thought of it can't be me to actually believing that yes, I can. If these people can do it, then I can do it as well. So yeah, that is my advice. And then I'm going to go to the next segment, which is on strategy. And for this section, I'm going to be talking about my story, how I transitioned from a much more broad biological background into aquaculture. So in 2017, of course, I gained admission. Like I got admission to the University of Ilorin to study zoology, just like I mentioned earlier. And as a Nigerian, for the Nigerians that are here, we know that this course is not the kind of course where people or where students will just apply. Like you don't just go to JAM office and you want to apply for a course and you be like, yeah, I want to study zoology. That's not what happens. Like it's a kind of course that also gets given to you. And so I had the normal reaction of every other Nigerian student that I was going to change that course. No, I don't want to do this. So the next year, 2018, I wrote another JAM, and it was the same story. I also didn't get the course I wanted. So the plan was that once I graduate, because I was already going to 300 level at the time, and I felt like it would be a waste having to start all over again. So let me just finish. That was my thought, that I was going to graduate and then take another degree and finally do the course that I wanted. And fast forward, it was 300 level. So for my school in Nigeria, we had, these courses are usually 4 years, not 5 years as it is in FUTA. So 300 level, that's the time you go for your internship. And before leaving for internship, it's like the norm that you get allocated supervisors for your dissertation. And as it is in my school, that is done through balloting. So they would write the names of different supervisors on paper, put it in a basket, and then you get to choose. Well, I would say luckily for me, the professor I ended up choosing was a professor in that is much more focused on limnology. And then we had a meeting with her where she mentioned that we were going to be doing a research in aquaculture. And that was all she said. And then we all went for our internship. So I did my internship in FUTA, yes. And then I applied to the microbiology department, actually. And it was time for me to resume. I went to the Senate building to have my papers signed. And then I was on my way to the microbiology department. And somehow I just stopped halfway. And I thought to myself that if I am going to be doing a bachelor's thesis in aquaculture, then it would be a better choice to actually do my internship in aquaculture as well, because that way it would make my research easier for me, because I did not have any knowledge of aquaculture at the time. The only thing I knew was that you grow fish. That was all. So I just felt like, why do I need to go to a microbiology lab when I'll be having an aquaculture research? And that was it. I turned back. And for Futarians here, the direction to the microbiology lab is I think it's to the right. And then the teaching and research lab for aquaculture is by the left. And then I turned back and went to the aquaculture department. And then luckily for me, the man I met there, I explained my situation. And then he said, yeah, it's okay, you can join. And then I had to sign like a whole new paper just to, so that it's recorded that I was enrolled. Anyway, I ended up spending the next 8 months of my life there. And I would say to you now that that is the best decision I have ever made, to switch that moment, because I learned so much. I learned everything I never knew. I learned everything about fish breeding, about feed formulation, even lab techniques. I feel like I learned so much than I would have learned if I had gone to the microbiology lab, because I learned even the lab techniques. Like before the end of the internship, I already knew that I was going to have a career in aquaculture. And before the end of the SciWest, I also started farming. Yes. So it started as a small business, as just a very small uh, I was raising clarias in a very small bowl, and before I knew it, it grew. We acquired two earthen ponds, two big ones for that matter. So it was really interesting. I found it really interesting. And then when I moved back to school, of course, I did my dissertation in aquaculture. I worked on alternative proteins from plant waste, and I also had like series of seminars plus my undergraduate seminar, where I also made sure that I presented a topic that is related to aquaculture. So I presented a topic on aquaponics. That's the culture of fish and plants together. So you all can see how these different things that I did prepared me for a career in aquaculture, right? And even at that time, I was just doing this because I was just genuinely interested in aquaculture. Like I just really loved it. I did not know anything about scholarship at that time. So I got to know about scholarship just a few months to my final exams. The professor had called me to his office and then he explained, oh, you could actually get a scholarship. So between 2022 and 2023, that was when I began to actually learn that, oh, there is scholarship. This could actually open a whole new opportunity for me. So I would go on YouTube and start learning CVs, because of course you have to for you to apply for a scholarship, you need your CV. So you need to understand the differences between an academic CV and a work CV or a resume. So I began to learn those things. I learned about cold emailing. I learned about writing SOPs. And I was not just learning, I would also go ahead to practice what I have learned. So I would for example, I would watch a video on code emailing and then open Microsoft Word. Oh, I was so excited. I would practice, and then I started to send those emails actually. And the first few times I did that, of course, no response. None of the professors responded. Then I would go back, tweak things, adjust something, send another email, send reminders. And one day, one professor responded. I was so happy. He just responded in one line and it was just like, send me your CV and transcripts. Just like that. I was like, wow, just like that. So it just showed me that finally I was doing something right. And anyway, I could not further the that particular opportunity because at that time I was still waiting for all those documents from my school. And with the way Nigerian university system is so complicated, you cannot always get your documents unless it's time for them, unless they feel like yes, they want to release it to you. So I couldn't pursue that opportunity. But it just gave me that sense of that happiness, that feeling that yes, I was finally doing something right. And I was also like I continued to learn, to practice, and with time, I began to just shift from just thinking about problems. As far as aquaculture is concerned, I began to think of solutions to the problems as well. And I started to let that reflect in my SOP too. So towards the end of this lecture, I also have like an example of some of the SOPs or the SOP I wrote, and I would explain what I meant by you really thinking about a problem and not just the problem alone, but providing solutions to it and believing that the solution will work, because it is really important that you believe that what you are saying, even if it's the useless idea, if you believe it, you can sell it to somebody else. And then, yeah, I got to know about the Erasmus scholarship from a friend. And then, of course, I went back to YouTube to watch videos just to learn more. I learned about the requirements, prepared the documents, wrote the exam because you would need to write IELTS. So I prepared for the IELTS as well, wrote the exam, I applied, and yeah, it was successful. I am so grateful. I mean, thinking back now, if I were to change anything, maybe it's just if I had actually gone to study aquaculture. Because I mean, if you are right now studying aquaculture, trust me, it is one of the best courses in the world because it definitely would open up opportunities, global opportunities for you. So you should not ever think that you are doing something wrong or you are studying a useless course ever. Don't. So now that I have told you my story, I will move on to the next part, which is execution. So now that you are ready to so just to sum everything up, it's just why I took the pain to explain my journey, just to let you know that at the end of the day, every small thing you do adds up. I mean, just that one change of direction just like made me see a whole new world that I never knew existed. And also there is opportunity in everything you have, like whatever you have right now, find the opportunity in it, and yeah, make good use of it. Also know when to re-strategize, know when to change direction. And when I say change direction, I do not mean that you should change your goal or change your dream. It's just to change the direction that leads to that dream. So if you feel like you're stuck or you don't know what to do, there is always that new route that you can take to achieve your dreams. So that's just why I had this slides on that page. So now the next part is, or the last part, hopefully, execution. So now that you are ready to apply, what do you do? So next slide, please. So of course you have to learn. You have to, it is very important that you learn. There is no one who have there is no one who has gotten a scholarship that got it by just stay in their room and then they just get a knock. Hey, hi, we are here to give you this scholarship. It doesn't work that way. They have all done something. They've all at some point learned something. They've done the work. They've acquired skills. They've done so many things to prepare them for the scholarship. So they did not get it by just being in their house. So you actually need to get out of your comfort zone. You have to sit down and you have to learn. So what are you learning? You have to learn the different types of scholarships available. Just like I mentioned earlier, there are different scholarships for everybody. Just find the one that's best for you. So we have the merit-based scholarship, we have need-based scholarships, we have research-based scholarships, we have region-specific scholarships. I just I try to group them, but at the same time, these scholarships, they are not mutually exclusive. I mean, they are not you can qualify for all of them. You do not have to limit yourself to just one or think that I am not academically sound. I just want to apply for a need-based scholarship. No, you can actually apply to different types available just to increase your chances as well. And there are also graduate opportunities beyond scholarships. There are lots of, like, you just need to you need to find them. You need to sit down, use your laptop, not your phone, please, because it can be very stressful using your phone to research scholarships. So you need to have a laptop so that you can have so many different tabs open. You can compare, you can contrast, you can do so many things when you make this research using a laptop. It's so much better, so much easier. So you can find internships. You can just go on Google, internships in aquaculture right now, or and these are even you would be paid. It's you're not going to be just learning and working for free. You'll be getting paid. So why not? There are also assistantships that's maybe working as an assistant to a lecturer, as a research assistant or a teaching assistant, where you get paid and also maybe get tuition free as well. And there are also graduate industry placements. So there are industries that would actually take on graduates to train them and retain them after the period set for the training. So you just need to, like I said, go online, search for these opportunities. They're there online, and learn the requirements, and apply. So for the next slide, I think I would be explaining the different types of scholarship, just like I mentioned. The merit-based scholarship, these are scholarship based on, they're awarded to students that show outstanding academic achievements or leadership skills or very exceptional talents. So if you feel like you have any of that, you can apply to these scholarships. For example, we have the Vote Scholarship in the UK, we have the DAD Merit Scholarship in Germany, we have the National Merit Scholarship in the US. We also have the need-based scholarship. These are scholarships awarded to students that show financial need, regardless of academic standing. So you do not need to prove to them that you are like very academically sound. You just need to show that you need the money, you want to study, you are resilient, you have shown that your transcript is showing that yes, you are doing so well in your studies, you are improving over time, but you just need financial help. So you need to like learn these different kinds of scholarships so you can structure your SOPs to align with the values of the program. And then we also have scholarships that are based on research. So these scholarships would open, and then you would see in their requirements where they would have their research interest or what they're looking for in their students. So if you feel like your research aligns with what they want, then you should draft your SOP to align with that, with the description, with the research description. So this also means that you need to go on the website, you need to learn, you need to read the research. And then we have the next one, which is region specific. And this targets students coming from specific regions. We have example like the Erasmus, where they would have, allocated slots for students from different parts of the world. And we also have scholarships that are specific to a particular program or a particular university. And we have, for example, the Knight NSC Scholarship in Stanford. We have Chevening or the Orange Knowledge Program in the Netherlands. So these are lots of different scholarships that you can apply for. All you need to do is just go on Google or go on YouTube. I always advise people never to underestimate the power of YouTube. There are so many things you can learn. Instead of doom scrolling on Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok, you can actually go on YouTube and learn really cool stuff. So that's to say, when you are ready to apply, what do you do? Or if you're like planning to apply right now. And also, this is also not mutually exclusive. These are things that they can coexist. You don't have to say, okay, I want to devote the next 2 months to understanding, or I want to devote the next 2 months to preparing, and then you abandon the rest. You can do everything all together. So it is important that you understand the scholarship you want to apply for. You already know the program you want, you already know the career you want to pursue. So now it's time for you to understand the scholarship itself. So it is really important that you know the scholarship requirement to know if you're eligible to apply. And when I say eligibility, I do not mean that you have to 100% qualify, because most people cannot actually 100% qualify for a scholarship, right? So even if you feel like you already have 70%, even 50, half, apply anyway. Like let the scholarship committee be the one to filter who they don't want. So you do not make the mistake of stopping yourself. Don't do that. Just apply. So you have to understand the requirements, check what they need, your um you need to know the the degree they require. If they want you to have a degree in aquaculture, for example, or you want to study computer science and they need you to have a degree in computer science. Now, these are some maybe not non-negotiable uh, requirements. But having requirements like you need to have experience in Python or in some programming languages, and you feel like, oh, you know other programming languages, so it's easier for you. You can easily learn the ones they require, then apply to that scholarship, because now then it's left to you to learn or to show, to prove to them that you are skilled and you are willing to learn. And then also understand deadlines. Very important, because I mean, what's the point applying for this scholarship? You've prepared your documents and you want to apply, and they tell you the deadline is has been exceeded. Like, you do not want that. So always note the deadlines. Have a Google Sheet or a Google Doc or Microsoft Word, whatever uh, writing platform you use, and store this information so that you can always go back to it and check when the deadline is approaching, so you can note them. It's also very important that you understand the values of the program, just like I explained. You want to know if they are looking for students who want to do research, or you want to know if they are looking for somebody who is extremely social and can communicate well. So you want to, so that this is just for you to help craft your CV to align with the values of the program, because it is very important. You cannot just start writing your CV or writing your SOP and ignore the description from the scholarship website. So you want to make sure that those two are very similar, and it takes you actually going on the website to find out. And then after understanding, you prepare your statement of purpose, very important. You prepare your academic CV, you prepare your certificate and transcripts, and recommendation letters. This really has lots of weight when you're applying to scholarships. So don't take it for granted at all. Right now that you are still in school, or for those that have even graduated, reach out to your professors. Learn to build this rapport with them and let them know early that you are interested in pursuing graduate opportunities, and that you would want to have them as a referee. So let them know that this is coming, so that when the time comes, all you have to do, in case you graduate, all you have to do is just call them and let them know that it's time. And also, you need to get your international passport. Like, so many people really take this part out, and I think it's really important, because at the end of the day, you cannot travel without a passport. So the time when you get your scholarship, you want to use that time to apply for a visa, not to apply for a passport. So I think it's very important that you get your passport early. And also prepare for your test, your standardized test, because most of these scholarships truly would either require you to write GRE or IELTS or TOEFL, depending on the region. But for most European scholarship, you would probably need to write. And the truth is, some of the scholarships also do not need a language test, because they already know that I mean, for Nigerians, right? They know we are an English speaking country. So you can present your proof of English, that's your English language proficiency certificate from school. So you can also get that. But then it's just like, for now, there are these scholarships that are very much interested in you showing IELTS or a kind of exam to show that you can speak, you can listen, you can write in English. So I would really recommend that you take the IELTS exam so that you do not have to start filtering the requirements just because you do not have an IELTS to prove. So I think it's a very important certificate to have. So if you can, then get it. But if you don't, or if you don't have it, or if you do not plan to write it, that should also not stop you from applying. Apply anyway. Okay. And then we have the last one is to get skills. So you don't want to, it's really important that you have some curricula or hobbies, not just limiting yourself to academics alone. So make sure you are doing something else aside just studying, because again, most of these scholarships they like that students have a life outside school. So you want to maybe you like fashion designing, or you like crafting, or you are into sports. These are things that can also reflect in your CV. And then you can also volunteer. I remember at the time I was volunteering for Green with Green. It's a climate awareness organization, and I was their social media for about a year, a social media manager. So, and these are things that also like reflected in my CV. And I also think it's very important that you get technical skills as well. For students in aquaculture, or students generally going for a master's degree in research, it is very important that you have a data analytics skill. It is very important, like it's non-negotiable. So right now, if you see scholarships, I think for me, I enrolled in ALX just to learn that. So it is very important. You should. And you can also get experience through internship for lab and field techniques. And you should also devote time to learning to write. You need to, you would be right, you'll be doing a lot of writing. So you need to learn to write. And then if you're still in school right now, you have enough time to have your good grades. I mean, if maybe for so long you've not really paid attention to your grades, now is the time. If you've not graduated yet, you can still, you know, you still have the time to study, to attend classes, to be much more serious, to make sure your grades improve. And if you've already graduated, I mean, you cannot do so much to go back and change what you already have, but then you can still make good use of what you already have, what you have. So don't let it limit your chances. And it is also really important. I wrote here publications. If you can publish your dissertation, then you should, because it's you are already competing with so many applicants, and this could be something that would set you apart. So I think it's a very nice thing to have as well. And it is really important that you start networking early. Reach out to people that have gotten scholarships in the past. Reach out to your professors. Reach out to people that are already like in the same career that you are trying to pursue. Let them tell you, ask them how they did it when they were applying for scholarships as well. So this is really important. And okay, so I mentioned that I would be giving an example of an SOP. So I used this SOP when I was trying to apply for scholarships. So most uh, scholarships or most programs, they would actually in their requirements give you details of what they want to see in the SOP that you are submitting to them. So that's why I have these questions highlighted here. But there are some other scholarships where you do not actually need to, I mean, they would not give you any instruction. They just want you to write something and just be creative. But then, regardless, there are things that should be in an SOP. Can you maybe go back to the previous slide? So yeah, so these are the questions. the first one, they want to understand your experience. Do you have an experience in the course you want to pursue? Do you have either classroom experience, lab experience, field experience, just you having an experience? And then why are you applying? You also need to answer that question in your SOP. Why are you applying for this scholarship? And then they want to know, how will this program support your future plans? So I would be showing you my the SOP I wrote years back, and also to explain how I kind of aligned the SOP to answer the questions. So I had three questions, right? The first one is, what is your experience? Then the second one is, what do you hope to learn? And then the third one is, how would this program support your future plans? So let's see what I wrote. So I stated that I began my career as a fish farmer at the age of 19. And at the time, I was undergoing my student industrial work experience scheme at the Aquaculture Teaching and Research Laboratory of the Federal University of Technology, Akure. And that was where I honed my skills and expertise in aquaculture. Now, I went on to say the things I did, right? I participated in different lab and farm experiments, and that includes fish hatching, protein and blood analysis, and feed formulation. On the completion of SciWest, I began a small fish business using a concrete pond, which grew steadily. And then I told you earlier on that I began to identify problems. So this was the problem that I identified. One major challenge that I faced running this business was the high cost of the fish feed. I observed that a lot of my colleagues, whom we had begun farming together, had ceased to operate. After conducting an interview with them, I realized that one of the reasons presented, which include overflooding and climate change, the high investment cost was the other major reason they quitted. And this is not a lie. At the time I started the business, I had friends that we started together. And after a few months, I saw that they stopped. And they were just like, it's not worth it. They were losing money. They were not making this and that. And this experience just helped me to know exactly what is going on in the industry and how to to find solutions. So I said the high investment cost to revenue has become the major challenge in the aquaculture business in Nigeria. So what did I do to solve the problem? To combat this problem, I devoted my final year thesis to a research on aquaculture sustainability. For this research, I formulated various fish feeds by replacing fish meal with plant waste and tested their effect on fish growth. The graph showed a steady growth increase in fish-fed plant waste at 20% replacement of fish meal. That's just one part of the solution. And then I also, just like I said, like you providing a solution and believing that it will work, right? So I said utilizing can you move on to the next slide? So I said utilizing plant waste as raw materials for fish feed is not only a sustainable way to reduce costs, it would also maintain aquatic food chain, ensuring that low-income fishes are available in the wild, as well as reduce pollution and combat climate change. So I'm like, this is what will happen if we do this. And then I went ahead to also say that I aspire to establish a technology-driven enterprise that will rely on plant waste as the active protein ingredient in fish feed formulation. I would employ the use of a mobile application that would enable citizens of my country to actively participate in depositing their dried domestic waste through a coordinated waste management system, thereby reducing pollution in the country, while users also earn passive income from its use. And I believe that this innovative approach would increase profitability and sustainability in aquaculture. So I mentioned earlier that it is really important to believe in your solutions, even if it's the craziest thing, even if you feel like this thing is not gonna work. Believe, just write it there. It's that's what they want to see. They want to see that this person can be innovative, this person can think far ahead, and this person has something to offer. So, and then to answer the last part, why do you want to apply? What do you hope to get? So I said to further my expertise and contribute to the growth of the aquaculture sector, I am seeking like this scholarship. This is because this program covers the essential aspects of aquaculture, such as, of course, for me to get this, I had gone to the website to see that, okay, they do this, they do that, so that I can include it in my SOP, which was why I also said that you need to understand what is going on, the courses they offer in the program, so that you can structure your SOP to align with what they want. So I said this is because this program offers courses such as fish nutrition, business management, including economic consideration, marketing, and entrepreneurship. It also offers training in research design, in data collection, and analysis relevant to this field. The intensive training I would receive from experts in the field would enable me to, stay abreast of the latest technologies and innovation in aquaculture, such as genetic improvement, precision aquaculture, and the use of artificial intelligence, which would further equip me with the expertise to address challenges and contribute to the development of sustainable aquaculture practices. So through this scholarship, I believe that I would be fully furnished for a career in sustainable aquaculture. And that's it. Just make sure that your SOP is your SOP is really answering the question you are being asked. You can be creative. You do not have to follow the structure that I presented. And I just showed you guys just to give you an example and to let you see that it is really important that you are answering the questions asked in your SOP, because many people make this mistake of just writing and they do not even go out to check the website at all. So it is very important that you do that. Always check the website. Always learn the value. Always learn the requirement. So in the next slide, I uh, yeah. So I just included some scholarships that they are quite common that you can maybe look into. I don't know if maybe after this, okay, this session is recorded, so you can and watch the videos and maybe take a screenshot. So find you can go on the website to find these different scholarships and apply. All you need to do is just apply, like learn the requirements and make sure you click that submit your application button. And the next slide, I included links to, the helpful links I mentioned earlier. So when I was planning my scholarship journey, these were the videos I was watching. So I learned how to apply, I learned how to write my CV, I learned how to send cold emails, I learned everything about Erasmus, I learned everything I needed to know about IELTS just from watching YouTube videos. So I've included the link here, and hopefully you guys have access to the presentation so you can check it out. They are really nice videos. You would learn a lot. You can also check their subsequent videos as well for you to learn more. And I think that is the end of my presentation. And now is the time for questions. Thank you for listening.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. And can you hear me? Everybody, can you hear me? Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I think we lost our moderator. She'll be back very soon. That's fantastic. Miss Anjorin Divine, in fact, you have done a good and great justice to our topic tonight, and I believe all our attendees have really learned a lot. So we can't appreciate you enough. Okay, we have our moderator. Please, you can take the floor.
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Divine and Drawing. This section has been impactful so far. Me personally, I've been able to gain a lot, and also serves as an encouragement for me to do more, that I can actually do more and more in this field, and even beyond. That part of thank you very much. Please, yes, at
I'm
the end
really
of the
excited.
end, please, if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section so we can pick it and the facilitator can attend to it as much as possible if there is any question. Alright. Right. I'm trying to check if we have any questions yet. Mm, okay, I've seen okay. One person dropped a question as at 8 p.m. It says from Ibrahim Alao. It says someone with 2 grade, that's second class lower, but have skill and digital skills. What is the chance of winning this scholarship? What is the chances of gaining the scholarship? Someone that graduated with second class lower but have the skills and digital skills as well. So, what are the chances of gaining this scholarship, ma?
Um, so just to answer that question, I am not going to give you a scale. I'm not going to say, oh, you have 50% chance, or it's a 20-30, or a 50, or a 50-50. No, I'm just going to tell you to apply anyway. And then, just like I explained that there are different kinds of scholarship, maybe you do not want to apply to a scholarship that clearly says that you need to have graduated with a first class honors or a second class upper. Maybe you do not want to have your hopes dashed by applying to that scholarship, that kind of scholarship. But there are scholarships that do not even state that at all in the requirements. They just tell you have experience. They're just looking for you to have an experience in the course that you are, or in the program that you want to apply for. And this experience could be your internship, it could be you taking extra online classes, maybe on Coursera or on Udemy, you know, just have the experience and have certificates or certification to prove that you have the experience. And that's all they want. So whether you have a 2-2, a 2-1, or a third class, is there? You can apply. So my advice for you is to apply anyway. Apply to many different kinds of scholarship, especially when you see that they do not require, or they are not really strong on academic performance. And even the ones that require you to have a first class, apply. Because I mean, it's you are not the one who at the end of the day would filter yourself out. So
Yeah.
leave the filtering to the members, the committee that are doing the filtering. I mean, if I also had the attitude, I probably wouldn't have applied to this scholarship I got, because at the end of the day, I do not have a degree in aquaculture. I had a degree in zoology, but then I had experience. I had experience in aquaculture, and I sold myself using that experience. So you should not, again, do not limit yourself at all. Apply anyway. You do not know the chances. You do not know if you would win. You do not know if you would get it or not. So just apply. That's going to be my response to that question. And I hope that answers it.
All right. I think Miss Fadiji, I think she's battling with the network. I think we have another person asking if you can share the slides with us after the presentation. So I don't know. We need to seek your indulgence in that. If we are permitted, I think I have it with me already, but we need
Exactly.
to
So
permit.
he has the presentation, and I think you can just maybe include the link on YouTube so everyone can have access.
All right.
And yes,
All right. Thank
and
you.
I would also make the adjustment on my end if I need to,
All right.
so that everyone can access it.
All right. Thank you. So we have another question on applying for a scholarship. How long does it take to get a feedback?
It depends because this information are usually included. So when you go on the scholarship website, you would see the trend. You would see deadlines for application, and then you would also see the time frame where they will tell you would get back to you. It could be in a month, it could be but usually around a month, you would already know the response. So they would include that. They could include that successful candidates would be reached out to at this so and so date. And then they would also include if there would be maybe a follow-up. For example, if they plan to have an interview, which is something that usually comes after you've already submitted an application. So most programs or some programs would go ahead to do like another filtering where they would do like an interview to meet with the applicants. So they would include this detail on the website. So you should find that. And in case they did not, don't also be scared. Most scholarships you get your feedback in a month or two if you are successful. And even if you're not, they might also reach out to you to, of course, tell you, oh, we are sorry. Maybe they're not always sorry, but but they will tell you we are sorry, you did not qualify or you didn't get a scholarship. But most scholarships usually reach out back in a month or two. You should get a response.
All right, thank you very much, ma. I have a very interesting question here from Adeno Gideon. I'm so sorry if I don't pronounce your name well. Okay, he asks that can someone who did MSc in Nigeria use the grade to apply for another MSc scholarship that's outside Nigeria? Is it possible?
um Absolutely, like, of course, why not? You are just only increasing your chances. So yes, use the degree, use your MSc. It's going to increase your chances to apply to get the scholarship. That's if the scholarship you're applying for is not did not state specifically that you need to only have a bachelor's, because there are some programs that would include it as an extra information that if you already have a master's degree, don't apply. So if you see that maybe you do not want to include and you want that scholarship, then maybe you do not want to include in your application that you already have a master's. But there are some scholarships that they do not bother at all. If you already have a master's degree, it will only increase your chances to get a scholarship. For example, for my program, I remember one time my professor was asking me, "Oh, Divine, do you already have a master's degree?" And then I was like, no, no. And then she was like, yeah, because we usually just um admit students from Africa with master's degree. And then I was like, oh my god, I didn't know that. Well, I'm here already, you cannot send me back home. So you should apply with your master's. It would only increase your chances of getting it.
All right,
So I hope
thank you
that
very
answers the question.
Yes,
Okay.
thank. I think we will take this last question because of our time from Ibrahim Alao. He says, "How did you reach out to the professor that you sent your email without knowing them? States the inspiration about it."
Oh, wow. Good question. So, just like I mentioned earlier, I did not know anything about scholarships. So, just from watching YouTube videos, because I mean, I stumbled on the video about code emailing, right? And then the person explaining how to send an email to professors also stated the reason behind it. So when you are applying to schools in the US or in Canada or maybe outside Europe generally, I do not know, I'm not exactly sure. it is very important, or they usually, most schools require that you have a potential supervisor. That's somebody that is going to supervise your research before you apply to the school. And then how would you know, or how would you get to meet a potential supervisor if you do not already, contact them? Because you cannot do anything, like you're in Nigeria, they are there far away in the US. You need to actually reach out to them. And how do you do that? You have to go to the school's website. There are uh, there are designated sections there where they have their staff, their faculty members, and their emails, as well as description of the research that they are doing. So you just need to, like I said, use your laptop, don't use a phone. Find the particular lecturer or professor, most times professor, highly recommended, that their research aligns with what you want to do. You can even go as far as, type their name on Google and find them on maybe ResearchGate or on Google Scholar. It would have, Google Scholar has like a list of their publications, and then you can go through them so that you can extract some information from their publications and put it in your email. Let them know that you've read their research, you have this opinion about it, or you have this question and you want them to. They are really happy when students come to them with things like that, like, oh, they've gone, you are showing them that you've done the extra work to read their paper, and then you are actually curious about something and you want to ask them about it. And then you can now add in the later part that you are interested in pursuing, a research in that area as well, and you would like them to be your supervisor. And they could maybe schedule a meeting with you. And once that is done, they advise you to go ahead and apply to the school. And that is how you are able to secure a supervisor, and even if you're lucky, get funding for the research and get your admission. So that is just that is the inspiration, if I would call it. The reason behind code emailing is for you to get a potential supervisor that can fund your studies.
All right.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you
You're
for your time,
welcome.
Divine. And to our team lead and to our core team members of Fish Lead Org Initiative, thank you for bringing this up and for our listening. It shows that our efforts as a team member is not in vain. All right, on this note, we want to say a very big thank you once again to Miss Divine. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making yourself available. Thank you for sharing us your experience in it. Yes, I think having a live experience, hearing from the source, is like another form of inspiration. So to tell others that they are not alone, they are not left out. So thank you very much. Well, thank you for your time. We really appreciate you coming here to share your experience with us. Thank you very much. So we'll be leaving now. Mr. Pelumi, thank you for having us. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
20 minutes, we'll call it a day. All right, to our audience and everyone, see you at the top. And I
Yeah.
believe that
Thank you.
we're going to make very good use of it. See you at the top, making impact in fisheries and aquaculture. All right, bye everyone.
Yeah, bye.